now.
Hello, everyone.
I finally got to the bunker.
We're currently under a red warning. Just kidding.
We're laying low. Auxiliary power only.
Yeah, I think we could probably do with some light. I
think we've staved off the hate mail.
All right, let's see. Hello, and we're live.
And in color.
We're back. We are in the bunker. This is the new area. We had to go underground.
The new undisclosed location.
Yes.
The hate mail seems to have staved off enough now. So, in the interest of creating more, we're going to be talking about the Snyder Cut.
Yes, I got some excellent routers down here. So, I have internet now. And I was able to find Jake. He was out in the woods somewhere. And
turns out the compass needle always points north.
Oh. I didn't know that. I thought we had this little piece of magnet or something in our nose, or piece of iron. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
It's the dumbest thing ever, but I swear it's true. This is why men always know where they're going.
I don't have it then because I never know where I'm going.
I don't either.
Like it's really bad actually.
I use GPS like it's my religion.
Dude, if I didn't have GPS, I swear I'd still be lost. Like, it is not cool. I was so proud of myself because it only took me like a week to figure out how to get to and from everywhere for my new house.
Ouch.
Like, that's huge for me.
Huge.
It's huge.
Anyway, so about this movie, I know you brought notes. I'm winging it because
it's too long to wing it. I was gonna wing it, and then literally I was like, there's too much to wing it.
See, he's the wingman.
It's
so
4 hours of and even these are just jotted down because I'm like, okay, what did I like? What did I not like?
It was so good.
Oh, I'm gonna get so much hate tonight.
Uh-oh. Talking shit?
Okay.
We'll get into
I'm not talking shit. Like, I liked it.
There was parts.
But I had some issues.
Yep.
And I'm wearing this in protest because in neither version did Green Lantern get represented properly. In fact, he got taken out like a bitch in the Snyder Cut. In the flashback battle with Darkseid. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert.
I guess I didn't see that.
He got his hand cut off and then cleaved.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, so continue what you're.
Well, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with what we liked or what we didn't like? I feel like we should start with what we liked.
Okay. You
start
go
off
first. I'll hop in.
Well, this is in fairly chronological order, but it's as it came to me. Probably the thing that I liked most about it was they expanded Cyborg's backstory.
I was so happy about that. I was like, man, I didn't realize Cyborg was actually that strong.
Well,
I mean,
they kind of inflated him a little bit for this movie.
When I say strong, I mean, what's the word I'm looking for?
Basically unbeatable.
He definitely wasn't unbeatable, but his technology in him was amazing.
That's what I mean.
So physical strength. Obviously, he couldn't be on par with Steppenwolf, but he tried. I'll give him that. Wonder Woman.
Well,
man.
his job was to tear apart the mother boxes, but
which was amazing.
And I'm gonna try to resist the urge to not talk about my issues with the Justice League movie in general in both versions because it's an adaptation. It's not ripped from the comics, but
yeah.
Because I'll just go into this for auto shutdown. Fuck you. Okay, so for all the comic birds out there, all the comic book nerds out there, you know as well as I do that Darkseid and Apocalypse didn't use mother boxes. They use father boxes. Mother boxes are used by the New Olympians. I don't know why they made the change in the movie. Maybe mother boxes sounded cooler, I guess, but
I watched the whole movie, and I guess I didn't pay attention and hear mother box one time.
Those are the cubes, or the mother boxes.
Yeah, I know what they were, but I never heard them call mother boxes. I feel like I heard them call it something else.
No, totally. Well, the three of them together they called the Unity, but it was 3 mother boxes.
It was 4 hours long, so
it's also not I mean, I'm sure there's somewhere in the comics where the mother boxes and father boxes look like that, but that's not any way I've seen it.
Right.
Just big ass cubes.
Okay, what I liked, and I'm not sure if I'm changing. Am I changing anything by talking about something else?
No.
Flash, how he saved the world.
Loved that. I
Holy shit.
had some issues with Flash in the Snyder cut, but they were minor. And overall, Flash between the Snyder cut and the original, I feel like was much better.
Okay, so yeah, because like Flash just kind of came out of nowhere in the Whedon cut.
Well, kind of in the Snyder cut too, though. I mean, they
gave him the backstory though, ish kind of.
Not really.
Well, I mean,
they didn't give him much of a backstory.
The part when he saved Iris.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was Iris. Was it?
Yeah, they confirmed it was Iris, but here's my issue with that whole thing. First of all, that scene was weird. I don't know why exactly.
I gotta go into something how I really like that scene though, like because the thing is, everyone thinks that superheroes just move at the speed of light, and they do this, that, and and they can just grab a person out of thin air. They showed restraint on him of how he had to.
I was gonna talk about that.
Oh, it was amazing, and then how he poked through the glass,
which to me was kind of dumb.
Well, because you got to think, if he hits it too hard, he sends glass flying at the speed of light, so he's got to hit it real easy, so it just shatters easier.
Or he could, just open the door.
Or he could phase through it, because he can do that.
Yeah, he can do that. Yeah,
and maybe he's an inexperienced Flash. I mean,
they go into. I could see that, and they go into it. Except he already knows how to use the Speed Force to travel faster than light. Which means he's done it before.
Well, did he though? Because
yeah, he did. Because
I heard him
he did
talk.
It twice.
He goes, "I need to travel faster than the speed of light," and maybe I just didn't hear him.
Well, he did it twice in the movie. Once when they resurrected Superman, because you actually saw the mother box lift back up. Yeah, and then the second time he did it intentionally to reverse the flow of time.
Yeah,
and that's a. And I'm gonna butcher this because I'm not a physicist. That's essentially what happens. When you exceed the speed of light, time will actually travel backwards. It ties into relativity, but basically when you exceed the speed of light, you are traveling so fast that you're traveling faster than the natural flow of time.
Like tachyons?
Well, I mean, not...
Because they say they travel faster than the speed of light. So
correct. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so theoretically, tachyons travel back in time. So if you
know a little bit about something,
maybe we can kill it with ultraviolet lights, which he was technically right on that.
He just doesn't know how to communicate.
That was so not trying to get into politics, but I think that was Trump's biggest weakness was he didn't have political communication skills.
All right, tachyons.
Yeah, tachyons, not tachyons. Well, they touch on this in Interstellar too. Now, what they do there is they're using black holes to manipulate the theory of relativity, which different means same concept.
Oh yeah.
But yes, I really enjoyed the Flash. However, going back to Cyborg.
Oh yeah.
They might have spent, in my opinion, they might have spent too much time on his backstory.
How so?
And this isn't so much a story thing.
Maybe
it's
his father and mother aspect.
No, I just mean in total screen time, and I think that had less. And I think that had less to do with the actual story and more of a criticism of Zack Snyder's style.
They could have sped it up.
Well, Zack Snyder, I don't know. Like, I wish I'd have thought to count the number of slow motion scenes, but Jesus.
Gosh. Yeah, that's no joke.
Like, that's a Zack Snyder thing. Like, if you saw 300, and if you saw Watchmen, And I haven't seen the director's cut of Watchmen, but I can only fucking imagine.
There's a director's cut? The first movie was already 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, there's a director's cut.
All right, I guess I gotta watch it now.
Well, and then I also didn't watch the director's cut of Batman vs. Superman, but I can only imagine.
Watchmen, and I'm like, it was amazing. It was so good.
So the only problem with Watchmen, which don't get me wrong, I love Watchmen, the movie. I prefer the movie over the comic book, but I understand why
I never read the comic
fans. Book. I'll let you borrow it if you want. It's interesting. You have to understand though, Watchmen is very much a product of the time it was written in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, the mentality is very much Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of. And I guess there must be a difference because obviously Watchmen, the film, is set in the Cold War, but we know how it turned out. So I guess it just doesn't hit the same. But a lot of people dislike the movie because Watchmen, the graphic novel, was essentially just like deconstructing and not necessarily making fun of, although it did, but it criticized the superhero tropes. And then the movie claimed to basically like critique superhero tropes and violence, and they made a movie full of superhero tropes and violence.
And it was wonderful.
Which, interestingly enough, ties into some of the negative aspects of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we'll get into when we get into the stuff we don't like. But what else do we have? I also really liked... So here again, kind of like Cyborg's backstory, this is a mixed bag, but I liked that the Snyder cut began with the death of Superman. But that scene lasted way too long. Like, it was literally about 5 minutes of people hearing his screams, and if it hadn't been in slow motion, it probably would have been okay. But, like, Jesus, how many people... And the reason I really liked it, though, is because it tied into why the mother boxes suddenly awoke. And they touch on this later in the movie when they say, like, yeah, the mother boxes were afraid because of Superman. But once Superman died, they were like, oh, we're good.
Oh, okay.
Which made a lot more sense because it seemed pretty random in the theatrical cut.
You know, you obviously know a lot more about this than I do. What was the role of? I mean, obviously you said that it was supposed to be the father boxes, but
in the movie,
the role of those? Okay, Darkseid and Apocalypse. They in another dimension?
Not another dimension per se.
Are they far away?
They're far away.
And is the mother box or father box, or are they like a means of transportation?
Not just, but they can be used to create boom tubes are the things that Steppenwolf was traveling. The big tubes.
Where he was sent through.
Yeah, that's one of the many things that the mother boxes and father boxes can do. And one thing that the movie kind of alluded to, but it never outright stated, but it's outright stated in the comics and other DC media, is that the mother boxes and father boxes are sentient beings. They are technology, but they are living things.
So what confused me about the movie, and this isn't necessarily something I don't like, but the mother box, when they used it, when Cyborg's dad used it to basically create him, like he was like a whole person, but then when he like did whatever he did to this box, and he's shooting whatever beams through it or whatever, and used it, it like turned him into metal. That didn't make any sense to me. Like,
turned who into metal?
Cyborg. You know, basically turned him into Cyborg. You know, because the thing is, like, he didn't like the father didn't like put metal on him. That kind of made no sense to me because the box said it would rebuild.
Well, mother box can create matter.
That's what doesn't make any sense. I was like, technically, we are beings of matter.
I take that back. It can't create matter. It can reconfigure matter. Because you cannot create matter out of nothing.
Right. So then, obviously, he had to have had some source of metal or something to make him with.
No, the mother box can literally transfigure. So it could, in theory, it could take molecules in the air and turn them into metal atoms.
Okay. See, I was kind of confused at first. Like, I don't know how I got off on it, but like, I was thinking that the mother boxes were like Kryptonian or something. They almost seemed like it at first. You know, but then obviously I found out that they're not, you know.
Yeah, no, like I said, they're created by the mother boxes and father boxes, respectively, were created by New Genesis and Apocalypse.
I love that you know all this stuff.
Okay, and to be fair, I'm
guilty.
My biggest source of knowledge in this area is not the comic books. I've read some of the comics, but like, fuck, I don't have time. And I'm gonna catch so much heat for this. A lot of the comics suck. Like, I'm just going to say it. A lot of the comics are overly weird. They're not particularly good. The writing is awful. But there's a lot of good. Like, for example, I remember getting so excited to read Blackest Night, the Green Lantern series, and I was fucking disappointed. It would have made such a much better movie.
That's kind of why I've stayed away from the deep Dragon Ball Super mangas. Not because they're bad. I know they're good. Yeah. I've got a buddy he does reviews on them, but
I was gonna say it's actually pretty good.
I know. I refuse. I don't want to know anything until I can be lazy.
I'm not reading the new ones.
No. Anyway, so all right, off topic.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Okay, so it begins with the death of Superman, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And they got rid of that really shitty iPhone thing with Superman and the kids, which was really awkward in the first one.
I don't remember it.
When
It's been 4 years since I've seen
it's
it.
basically iPhone footage, and the kids are like asking Superman a bunch of questions, and I don't blame Henry Cavill for this. I blame whoever was directing him, because it feels like part of the problem with the new version of Superman, including in Man of Steel and onward, is for a guy who's supposed to be like Earth's champion, he seems to not particularly give a fuck about, like, he's just kind of there. Like, he saves people, don't get me wrong, but he's just kind of there. And like, even in Batman versus Superman, after the explosion in the courtroom, which is not his fault, dude just bolts.
That's the thing, man. That's the difference between who directed Man of Steel?
That was I think that was Zack Snyder again.
Was
Hang
it?
on, I'm gonna check because I don't want
Because
to.
Justice League was directed by Whedon.
Well, originally it
And
was
Zack-
directed by Snyder, but they
Oh,
brought
that's
it.
right.
They
I
brought in
forgot.
They brought in Joss Whedon to do reshoots and
Whedon.
whatnot.
I keep saying Wilden.
Yeah, whatever. But and that explains. So I got some clarification, and I feel kind of stupid for not knowing this. The whole Superman fucking CGI mustache thing.
They sort of fixed it in this
They
one.
didn't fix it. It didn't exist. The whole reason they had to do that is because of the Whedon reshoots. And Henry Cavill was filming Mission Impossible at the time. That's why he couldn't shave the mustache, because he was literally filming that movie.
Oh, so they
when they were
reshot
doing-
some stuff?
They reshot a lot of stuff.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
And
Well,
you notice-
okay, that makes sense.
well,
I
and
thought
you
they did
notice
better. I was
all-
like,
You can tell what was a reshoot because it was all missing from the Snyder Cut. He did not use any of the reshoot material.
man, good.
Well,
that irritated me to no
yes
end.
and no, because again, I have some issues. I think.
I think we've got some camera issues.
Okay, yeah, directed by
Hey, you see
Zack
it?
Snyder.
Look at
Yeah,
that
I
bottom.
saw it. I saw it. Sorry about that. We'll figure that out.
Wonder if it's a low light.
No, it's got to be. I doubt it. But shit, where was I? Already talked about that.
I had a point. I was going with something.
I
Can't
totally. Yeah, I got sidetracked too.
Where we
So we just said.
Superman. Okay. Yeah.
Superman. Oh yeah, so Superman just bolts after the courtroom explodes. Like he's distant. He's too distant.
All right. This is a first. I remember where I was going with this. Exactly what you meant. Like how you said he seems like he doesn't care.
Superman is odd.
That's the difference between. I love Henry Cavill, however you say his name, in Superman. Don't get me wrong, but I don't care what anyone says. I really fucking loved Brandon Routh in Superman Returns. By far one of my favorite. I feel like everyone gives that movie so much hate. And I was like, I absolutely loved it because
it kind of deserves it.
he
Although as
seemed-
Superman,
he was fucking spot on when
I
it came
don't-
to because Superman Returns was a direct. Yeah, what the fuck? Anyway, Superman Returns was like a direct
continuation yeah.
of Christopher Reeves, and that dude acted just like him.
Well, yeah, and that's
was
probably why. That's probably why.
Plus, I love the original Superman.
I was gonna say that's probably why you liked it, because you were a fan of the Christopher Reeve Superman, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
basically just continuing the Christopher Reeve Superman.
But it was awesome.
Tim
Anyway.
Daly's still the best Superman. I think I said his name right. I'm gonna be embarrassed as fuck.
Tim
if I fucked up.
Daly? What's
Hold
that
on,
one?
hold on.
Oh, shut up, dude. No, what's his face? Dean Cain. He's the best Superman. Superman and Lois. Dude barely even flew around in that freaking show. That's actually not true.
I saw an ad because that's streaming on a platform now, and I can't remember.
Oh, dear Lord.
What? That's not bullshit.
A lot of people like that show. I wasn't too big a fan.
Oh my god, I said Tim Cain. I'm an idiot. That's not the voice of Superman. Or no, I said Tim Daly.
Yeah.
I'm fucking all
Is it a
this up.
voice?
Yeah.
Is it, it's a voice. Okay.
George Newbern? Huh. Okay, well anyway, George Newbern. I didn't know. Fuck, I feel stupid. George Newbern's the best Superman.
George Newbern. What's
Where?
that say? I can't see that.
Oh well, anyway, I'm trying to But I mean that's the one thing that Zack Snyder's Superman was missing, was the human part. They really doubled down on the alien part. But you got to remember, fucking Clark Kent was from Kansas since he was a little kid. He knew he was from Kansas before. Well, and you got to remember, he knew he was from Kansas long before he knew he was from Krypton.
Yeah, he just thought he was just a normal homegrown guy who was just super strong
who could
and
lift
fast.
buses and shit.
Yeah.
And okay, this is a minor criticism, but it kind of deals with how Zack Snyder treated these movies. What we got?
Massive improvement. I don't know if he's talking about the studio or...
Oh, yeah, that would be a good clarification.
Could be. He might be talking about the movie. I do think it was a massive improvement over the Whedon.
I don't know about massive.
I do. I loved it.
I don't know about massive.
I'm a simple man, though.
And this sounds weird coming from me because one of my favorite movies of all time is the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven, which is 4 hours long. But everybody who said the Snyder cut didn't feel like 4 hours was full of shit. That movie was long.
They're wrong as shit.
That movie was long.
They're wrong. It felt like 5 hours.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say a third of that movie could have been cut out and it would have been just fine.
I mean,
or sped up. At least a third of the movie could have been sped up and it probably would have been fine.
It wasn't directly a supercut because a supercut would be a bunch of different stuff. Like all the stuff that was in it was still there. It was just kind of different. But
well, I feel like to make a perfect Justice League movie, you would have to do a combination of the two.
I know,
because they're both very flawed movies that are trying to do something great, but just. And I think that was the problem because the Whedon cut had the bulk basically of Snyder's original cut to work with, and they tried to inject a different vision. That it had a tone problem because on one hand you got Batman, who's in the previous movie was fucking branding people. And in this one, he's making jokes. And it's like, oh, something's definitely bleeding. It's like...
Listen, I know I agree with you, but I don't want to get into stuff we don't like. I need to remember this. I'm just going to say it. What was up with Ben Affleck's voice? Did you notice that? I didn't notice it in the 2017 movie. Like, he was like...
How he changes it when he's Batman?
Not that. No, not that. Even when he was talking, he sounded like he was forcing it.
In what scene?
I had a glitch in the Matrix. Anyway, but no.
Agent Smith just pops out. He's like, "We've found the intruder."
But I don't know. Just every now and then when he talks, he sounds like he's just like struggling to speak.
Well, they did put him in a suit that was 2 sizes too small. Which, okay, here's the thing. I feel like Ben Affleck got a lot of unfair criticism because, like...
I loved him as Bruce Wayne.
Okay, I'm going to get so much hate tonight. Ben Affleck is my favorite live-action Batman, and here's why.
I agree.
You can go back... Well, no, but this is the point I always make, and people at least agree with half of it. So, my issue with everybody, with the exception of Kevin Conroy, who is the best Batman, fight me...
For those of you out there, that is the Batman
animated series.
Yep. Yeah.
And then in Batman Beyond and all that. But anyway,
it was the bomb.
Also, the first Batman actor to do 2 different voices, one for Batman and one for Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
a lot of people have copied him since then, but and then Christian Bale took it too far. Where is he?
Those still were great movies, but that stuff...
I love The Dark Knight, but that's not even the worst part of it. The worst part is when he's talking normally as Batman, but he's always like, because I can be what they need it to be. It's like...
Why'd you do that? Christian, you need to explain yourself.
It was a choice that just didn't work. That's what I'm gonna.
Still great movie. Still great series.
Great movie. I love The Dark Knight. Well, actually, hilarious. The Dark Knight Rises is a piece of shit. I don't care. And it's not because of Bane.
Oh gosh, what? I mean, Tom Hardy, like amazing as Venom, but like, yeah, hands down amazing as Venom. But like the whole Bane voice, I loved how everyone copied that.
Well, I loved how
you fight like a young man.
I love how the Harley Quinn series on DC Universe made fun of that because Bane always talks like that. and they just shit on Bane. It's so funny.
Dude,
Like they're at the Legion of Doom meeting, and he's the only one. They won't give him a chair. They give him like a shitty one, and they're like, "Oh, we ran out of chairs." He's like,
poor Bane.
"Oh,
No.
no." But then they invite Harley to join. He's like, "Yes, I get the chair."
So to get into something from the movie, Joker. I'm sorry, dude. I think
Jared Leto
needs to. He wasn't given enough.
Well, again, I don't
screen time,
blame.
and he's fucking weird though.
I
You hear
don't
about the shit he
blame.
did on set?
Yes, that's fucked up.
Like, you fucking weirdo. But
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool.
But again,
Dead animals.
that post-credit scene was good, but he's never gonna play Joker again because they have effectively killed. They're gonna have to
Are you
reboot.
sure?
Yeah.
I thought I read something about it. I don't know if it's true or not.
I
mean,
can't
there's plenty of
remember
stuff on the
now.
internet.
Like, is he supposed to be Joker in the new Suicide Squad movie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see, but the laugh wasn't horrible, but horrible.
It's probably the worst Joker laugh, though. Not gonna lie.
I still think the best Joker laugh, dude, is Phoenix. That like so painful.
Oh, I don't know if it's my favorite. Okay, so again,
Well, okay.
My
I'm sorry.
bias.
I didn't mean to say best. I meant like.
It was an interesting take.
Yeah.
That I liked.
Well, because he had a actual issue, and
Well, and I almost think Heath Ledger was probably the smartest one in terms of the laugh because he made fun of it in the beginning in a way where he doesn't have to do the laugh, although he does laugh later. But he lowers the expectation because the first time you hear the first time he appears on screen, you hear a laugh off screen, but it's a fake laugh. He's like he, but it's an obvious fake laugh.
Yeah.
And then later when he does laugh, it's like the expectation's already down to 0. So anything sounds better than that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, we've stopped talking about Justice League.
Yeah, it's okay, though.
Best Joker is Mark Hamill. You're probably noticing a trend here.
Speaking of evil laughs, this is a small tangent. We're not going to get too far off, but it's a meme on, I think, Instagram. Well, meme video, whatever you want to call it. The duck laughing. Have you seen that where it says any anime villain, and it just shows this duck, and he's just like.
No, I haven't seen it.
I know that was super annoying.
Remember,
so
I've been in the
apologize.
woods. I've been in the woods for a week. I haven't been on.
Oh, that's right. I've been down here with a little bit of internet.
A little bit.
Down here in the old bunker. Anyway, so back to the movie at hand.
So the things we liked. I liked the inclusion of Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
However, again, I think it was too much.
And
For that movie, and here's why. So
done better with his looks. Like,
yeah, Darkseid should have
shitty.
been bigger.
yeah, didn't he
Darkseid-
seem kind of small?
Yeah, well, he seemed like an average sized person.
Yeah, and I was like, man, he's supposed to be like.
Which
larger than
again,
life.
this may have been a problem of scale. Well, no, it wasn't a problem of scale because we saw in the future thing he killed Aquaman.
Okay, so
wow, spoiler city.
New thing. Yeah, spoiler alert, FYI. I probably should have put that in there. But so we're gonna talk about things we like and dislike at the same time because
we're gonna try to keep
it's
the
kind of
theme
hard
going.
to
But
just go with the.
so
likes.
this is the main chunk where we are trying to talk about things we like, but shit we didn't like is gonna come up.
It pops in your head. You just talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to go back to the Iris West thing because we got off on a tangent about
Okay.
that. Yeah, Darkseid should be taller. Because he's a little bit taller than Aquaman in that scene, but not by much. And Darkseid, I think in canon, Darkseid is close to 7 feet.
Was that scene included in the Whedon?
No. Because Darkseid wasn't in the Whedon cut at all.
No, the alternate universe where Batman's dreaming it. That was not included, correct?
There was a small bit of it in Batman vs. Superman. Which now...
Thought so.
Now, having seen the Snyder cut, a lot of things in Batman vs. Superman make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I.e., this seemingly random scene in an apocalyptic future where Superman is just wasting people.
Because Lois Lane died?
And then that weird Flash scene with Future Flash.
Yeah, what was with that suit? That was weird.
Well, it's Future Flash. Because Flash is wearing armor in that apocalyptic future.
Yeah, I know, but it was like, what was the point?
The point was he's telling Bruce in the past that Lois Lane is the key, and that if they can keep they're setting up for another movie.
You know, but the thing is, though, Superman being all good and whatnot, you know, it's like, don't get me wrong, I know losing a loved one can make you turn, but it's like, is really Lois Lane dying going to turn him evil? Because think about this.
Technically, yes.
She's going to die one day because he's immortal, she's not.
He's not immortal.
Superman?
Yeah, he's not immortal.
Okay, well, his life expectancy is a
It's
lot
higher, yes, but he's not immortal.
By a millennia.
Well, that's the thing, though. He doesn't know that. Because, again, he's never talked to another Kryptonian.
That's true. Well, no, the thing is, he should know most of it from the training on the ship from the crystals.
Except they don't know how Kryptonian DNA is going to react in Earth's atmosphere.
That's
They're
true.
not sure. Because on Krypton, they would have led, if I remember correctly, they lead approximately, maybe a little bit longer.
They knew they would have powers coming here, but they didn't know.
Yeah, because they know how, but they don't know the specifics.
Right.
Because, again, they lived with a red giant, not a yellow sun.
Right. Jumping back to Smallville, do you remember talking? They were talking about Superman, Clark Kent at the time, but they were talking about him and saying that he had. They were talking. Who was it? The hat. What was the hat that Chloe wore?
Fuck, I don't remember.
Do you remember what I'm talking?
Smallville.
What? Fired. Anyway, so the hat. I can't remember what the hat's called. It's a helmet, and basically it shows the future.
Was it the special helmet?
It was a special helmet, but it shows the future. Anyway, so it said basically that Superman, or did it show death? And it said Superman had no end. It was just in that show, so
that
obviously
could have been
doesn't necessarily.
Well, and that could have been alluding to a lot of different things because it's known in comic book lore, Superman, you know, eventually you get Supergirl and you get Superboy and you get Metal Superman and you get Superman eventually has kids or a kid. I don't know if he has kids plural, but. And then in the New 52, he just hooks up with Wonder Woman. So imagine that powerhouse. Kryptonian and Amazonian demon. Like, fuck it.
Well, she's not even... I mean, was she half... She's half Amazonian.
Well, technically she's half God. Yeah.
Yeah. So... And Superman is pretty much God, so... I mean,
from the Earth context, yeah.
And then Superman 52, isn't he, like, even more powerful?
Yeah.
Like... Beyond like stupid, is he the one that can shoot little Superman out of his hands?
Fucking, I don't know, but
they added some dumbass powers.
I don't care for the
when
new
people
52.
go back and forth between the Goku and Superman.
Goku
sorry.
will waste his ass.
I mean, just exactly.
Because here's the thing: a pebble cannot render Goku powerless. Now, okay, I will give you this: Goku.
His weakness is hunger.
I'll give you this though: Goku with a tail, maybe. If Goku still had his tail, maybe Superman could win.
Oh, he's grab it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, he
doesn't.
He rid himself of that weakness.
Yeah, exactly.
As a boy. Actually,
because Toriyama forgot, but hey.
No, he explained it.
Yeah, he explained it because he had to write it in because he forgot to draw.
Oh, shit.
He forgot to draw the damn thing.
That dude was drunk half the time writing that stuff. Okay, all right, tangent. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So I feel like there was a little... I think they should have, and I'm not saying they rip off Marvel, but the way the MCU revealed Thanos was perfect. They hinted here, they hinted there, you saw glimpses of him.
They didn't just, here you go.
Yeah, I feel they threw way too much at you in this movie because not only is it a culmination movie, but they didn't do nearly enough setup for the number of characters they had.
They could have done this movie in 2 segments, 2.5 hours each. And done a lot better.
Well, the other thing they could have done was, okay, so, and again, I don't know how you would have adequately done this. I think the introduction to the Flash was sufficient in both movies. They did it different ways, but I think it was sufficient. Aquaman's story left a lot to be desired because he just kind of appeared. Like, the only thing we had was this hint in a video thing, you know? Like, it didn't...
I felt like we had more Aquaman in the 2017 version.
I don't know that we had more, but we definitely had better.
No, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the movie. Aquaman movie.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Oh, you did? I loved it.
Fucking hated that movie.
What?
Okay.
It was decent.
This is a minor criticism.
It was funny.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna get into that.
And plus, it's what's his face? What's his name?
Jason Momoa.
Oh, I like him. He's cool.
Well, I know, but the Snyder Cut took out all the great Jason Momoa things.
Yeah, that's Snyder for you.
They just made him boring. But anyway, we're getting into shit we don't like. I'll get into Iris West because I have a note here when I get into the thing that I don't like. Let's see. I liked the black Superman suit because it ties in with the comics. There's a reason for it, although this is something that could have been corrected, I think, because the whole point of that suit is it's supposed to help heal and it absorbs solar radiation better than the regular one. And I think all they would have had to do is have a little bit. You already heard Jor-El talking in the ship.
Yeah, when it was Jor-El and his dad.
Yeah, Mr. Kent.
Mr. Kent.
You could have just had the ship be like, Kal-El, this suit will help heal you or whatever.
That's all they had to do.
Yeah, that's all they had to do because...
little explanation goes a far way.
Which for a director that's giving half the movie is exposition. Mm-hmm. You couldn't throw a 2-second clip and being like, this suit will promote healing. It'll help absorb more radiation. And then it's a big fight, so he's going to need all the help he can get. And that explains, FYI, why he flies up into when there's a time limit, he's got somewhere to be.
What up, Jason?
But he randomly flies up into the fucking space to bask in the sun. There's a reason for that, but they don't tell you what that reason is. It's just kind of random.
Do you have anything else on that right there?
Yes.
I just want to mention one thing. Keep your train of thought. The Flash, when he was in his normal outfit and he went to go save Iris, and when he turned and his shoes exploded off of his feet, was so cool.
It's so cool, but again, it doesn't...
It's true, though, because the thing is, normal clothes can't handle that speed.
But he didn't lose any other clothes.
That's what...
Which is a good point.
Make sense. Well, you saw the way his feet turned, and his shoes just
exploded
but the issue,
around his feet. The reason his suit is the way it is because if he goes fast enough, his normal clothes will just incinerate.
And he'd be naked. Naked.
But again, you only saw... So that's one of those things where it's kind of like, wow, this is going to go way off topic, but I know...
Sorry, people.
I know you weren't a fan, or maybe you were, but the Animorphs, did you ever read those? Okay, but anyway...
I didn't hate them. I read a couple.
Dude, they're actually really fucking good.
I think Did they have a series?
Yes, that's what I'm touching on.
The earwig? Do you remember there was something...
the Yerks, yeah.
Yeah, dude, those things fucked me up.
But anyway,
I was worried about shit going to my ears.
It's a total ripoff of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, but the author acknowledges this. Anyway, my point being, in the books, they cannot morph with normal clothes. Anything they wear has to be skin tight, otherwise it'll just fall off or get shredded. In the series, however, they can morph with their clothes. But it doesn't really take away because they don't really acknowledge it as a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's one of those things where we wouldn't have had an issue with the Flash's clothing had we not seen the shoes incinerate. But the minute I saw the shoes go, I was like, well, wouldn't the rest of his shit?
It kind of didn't make any sense. I'll give you that, but I was just thinking how his shoes exploded was really cool.
I get what they were doing, but again, they didn't really think that one through because it's like, okay, well, if his shoes are going to get wasted, then theoretically most... not going to say all of his clothes, but anywhere that has that kind of friction is going to...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kata, you watched the movie too?
Who would have what?
Comment. It says Jason Kata. He says it was a great movie, but long. Or I read it. It was great. It was a great movie, long but great.
Yeah. Oh, I already talked about Black Superman suit.
Yeah, sorry for that tangent.
The Black Superman suit, not Idris Elba. I did like that the characters fought as a unit more, as opposed to individuals in this one. However, again with the criticism, I feel like that was one thing. They're kind of fighting together from the get-go, and one of the things I liked about the Whedon cut was in the beginning there's a problem because they're all trying to fight as individuals. They're not used to working as a team, but in this one they're just kind of like, yeah, okay, go Justice League.
And they just brought it together like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no friction in the team.
Yeah, but the thing is, how what's his face? Who was it that was talking to Bruce Wayne? He's like, it wouldn't have came together if it wasn't for you. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But in the Whedon cut, like you said, they were butting heads. And
so what in perfect world, what I would have liked to have seen is
HBO Max, son.
Yeah. What I would have liked to have seen is in the first fight where they're rescuing the hostages, I much preferred the Whedon cut. I really did. I thought it was
Because it was quick and to the point.
no, because well, I mean that was one thing, but also because there's a couple of things I really liked in the Whedon cut. For one, everybody just kind of goes off and does their own thing, which is not, and that's why they pretty well fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they fail miserably actually, and they have to just book it. And then plus the fact too, we establish in the movie in both versions that the Flash is a relatively new hero who doesn't have a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except in the Snyder cut, he doesn't really show any evidence of being green, you know. He doesn't really make too many mistakes. But I liked in the Whedon cut how he's like, wait, I've never actually saved anyone before. How will I know what to do? And then Batman just kind of like, save one. How will I know? Just do it.
You know what kills me about the Flash in these movies, and actually it doesn't matter if it's the Whedon cut or the Snyder cut, the motherfucker trips a lot.
Yeah, but I actually liked that in the Whedon cut especially.
That makes sense because he's not
not used to it.
Yeah.
He's used to running, but he's not used to applying that. And that's always, in my opinion, that's always where superhero stories get interesting, is not only do they discover they have powers, but now they have to figure out how to use them. Like outside of like Spider-Man has to figure out, okay, I can climb on walls, but how do I incorporate that into fighting crime? Because it's one thing to just scale up a wall. It's another thing to be able to do like, okay, what sort of, fighting techniques can I do knowing that I can stick to surfaces? And then they kind of figure out how to integrate their powers into a team too.
That kind of irritated me about the Tobey Maguire and all the Spider-Mans. I'm getting a tangent, and it's.
Hey, we're talking about comic books and superheroes and shit.
Superheroes. But anyway, so like, how all of a sudden after he gets his powers, he just knows how to fight.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
If you have no no matter how strong you are or reflexes count. I'll give you that.
You can still get clocked in the jaw and knocked the fuck out.
And I'm like, that made no sense. How these people,
they just know how to fight.
They just boom. They're all just Taekwondo badasses.
Yeah, I know, right?
Taekwondo, but yeah.
Well, I get what you're saying, which is why I liked the Whedon cut, because the Flash is not a badass. It's like, yeah, he can run fast, but he fucks up all the time.
And he's funny. I like that.
Well, and that was the other thing, is the Flash, in no matter which one you're talking about, is always kind of funny and goofy.
Because he's a scientist.
In particular,
right? Is he a scientist in the comics?
Technically not, but I mean, kind of. It depends on which one you're talking about too. Wally West is more of a scientist than Barry Allen. But
that's hilarious. That Wally West. Have you seen the CW version? I like it. Don't get me wrong, but he's so emo. He's but no, Wally West is not a scientist. He's just a kid from the.
Well, Wally West is supposed to be a scientist.
Okay.
Which is one of the reasons, because the whole point of Wally West is he artificially recreates what gave Barry Allen Flash his powers.
Oh yeah.
So for Wally West to not be a scientist is like, okay, well, how did you get your powers?
See, kids,
you gotta think.
You need to find. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say that. The radioactive stuff and just roll around in it. What was that, Adam West?
Like Adam West.
Sir, you have cancer. You have. I think he says you have lymphoma.
Yeah,
he's just like,
damn it.
Oh.
I will be Ratman.
Spider senses is tingling.
But so yeah. Anyway, so what in my perfect world I would have had the first fight where they're in the tunnel be from the Whedon cut, but then the final fight with Steppenwolf, where they're fighting together as a team, as a unit, and they're comboing, and they're, like Aquaman's doing the bit where he's like, okay, I'm going to make some water, and then Cyborg shoots the sonic cannon into it to do a combo hit. Like, I loved that.
I'm pretty sure that this happened in the Whedon cut too as well, but when Aquaman was just trying to stop that water and the thing, I'm like, you can't stop that much water. I was like, aren't you supposed to be the king of the sea?
So fun fact, first of all, no, he technically not one of Aquaman's powers.
So how the hell was he doing that?
So this is one thing the Snyder cut.
Oh, by the way, sorry, continue. Keep your train of thought. Aquaman obviously propels himself with his feet, but the ocean also pushes him. Did you know that?
Yes, but again, technically he can't do that yet.
Well,
and here's why.
I don't know if in the movie, but I'm talking in the
yeah
comics and whatnot.
So, technically speaking, Aquaman cannot actually control water without a magic trident, which he does not have, or
Yet.
he doesn't have the big one until the Aquaman movie.
Yeah.
The Snyder Cut does a better job of explaining this. He goes back to Atlantis to get his mother's trident, which is how he's able to control some water, but he cannot technically manifest it. So the fight scene in the Snyder Cut doesn't make sense because he makes water appear out of nothing, which Mira can do, but technically Arthur can't. Now I think they play fast and loose with the rules here because he has his mother's trident and his mother could do that.
Well, that just makes sense though because that doesn't make it like what you're talking about. Them using the mother boxes instead of the father boxes. You know, I mean, the guy kind of messed up a little bit here and there, so I get you.
Yeah, but so anyway, funny story. But anyway, the end fight, in my opinion, was much better. In terms of the choreography, even the Superman moments, although they took out one of the moments that I chuckled in, which I'm not saying is bad because in the new tone it didn't make sense, but in the Whedon cut, when Superman comes over and helps Cyborg pull the mother boxes apart and they have that explosion, they have that moment. Well, they have that explosion and they're both like laying out and he's like, how can I feel my toes? Like, explain to me the physics of how I can feel my toes that I don't have, and they're kind of laughing. I liked that moment, but I don't think the movie was like. I think the Snyder Cut did better without it. And I also got rid of that super corny ass line. It's like, I believe in truth, but I'm also a pretty big fan of justice. It's like, no, I liked how Superman came in and just wrecked shop.
One of my favorite parts though is when they're fighting Superman when he's like he just came back.
Yep.
And the Flash is running and Superman's just like
looking
back at him, and I'm just like.
That look,
and
you
Flash,
know what?
Flash is like he's just like,
oh God, what is the actor's name? Ezra something, who played Flash. Ezra Miller. It's something. It's Ezra something. But anyway, perfect acting on your part because his facial expression when Superman just turns, he's like, oh shit.
It was so good, man. He's just like staring at him.
I also like, and again, this is very subtle, but I also like how both movies show that the Flash is just a little bit faster. Just a smidge faster than
Godzilla, screw King Kong. Anyway.
I so want to see that, too. I wonder who they're going to have win in this one.
Kata, he said, I know this is random, but who will you be taking, King Kong or Godzilla? I'm taking King Kong. He has them hands.
I'm taking Godzilla because he can breathe radioactive fire.
He could light that monkey on fire.
Yeah. So fun fact, though, speaking of King Kong versus Godzilla, depending on the original one, depending on where you saw it, whoever won changed. If you saw it in Japan, Godzilla won, but if you saw the U.S. version, King Kong won. They actually shot both endings.
Did not know that.
Yep, fun fact. So if you watch the Japanese version, Godzilla wins.
Gojira. You remember that? I was like, they saying Gogeta? The fuck are they saying? Gogeta?
Gojira.
Yes. Anyway, so
characters fight together. What the fuck does that say? I dug. This is going back a little bit. Part of Cyborg's backstory. I liked that scene where he inflates that one woman's bank account.
That was awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah, because the thing is, it was I'm glad you mentioned that because
it was
his
dancing.
Dad was saying that you can do good things.
Exactly.
And he goes and you won the Gotham lottery,
which I loved because he didn't steal it.
Sweepstakes. No, he gave her a sweepstakes.
Yeah, which I liked because it was right on the line of being like hardcore social commentary, which I wouldn't have been a fan of, but they made it in a way where and the thing of it is he didn't steal it from anywhere. He made it materialize. Like he created the money. It's not like he took it from somebody.
Kind of like America.
Well, fuck. You know what? If the government can do it...
We don't have the money. We'll just create it.
If the government can do it...
Government. Wait, man.
I will say the Flash is less annoying in the Snyder Cut. Because I remember when I saw the theatrical version, I remember... And this is a me thing. But... people who are obnoxiously awkward, I don't like seeing it. And I feel like the Flash was just obnoxiously awkward.
Is he getting a movie?
Yeah, it's the plan.
I hope they do because I really like him.
I liked him a lot more in the Snyder cut. He was a little bit like I get he was awkward, but there's a line because
but no, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in the Whedon cut, was there another scene when
someone's entered the bunker?
So
yeah, it was Ezra Miller.
They found us. The hay bale's back.
They heard us talking about the Snyder cut, and they're like, "No more."
But no, so in the Whedon cut, was there a scene where I just lost my train of thought. Damn.
Flash, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Flash, Batman. No, it was Flash. But the thing is, it was. I feel like there was a scene in the Whedon cut that they didn't put in the Snyder cut.
There were a couple, or at least parts of scenes.
Was it? Yeah, it was where Batman and Flash meet for the first time.
They cut that scene down.
Now, was there a part where like he kind of tested, or a Batman, or he acted like he could do something, and Batman was able to like predict his speed? Does that sound familiar?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at
different things. And maybe I'm thinking of Arrow when he was testing.
There's
Barry
moments.
Allen and
There's
CW
moments like
version.
that, and I don't think Justice League was one of them. Though.
No, I'm crossing over. Sorry, people.
I don't think so. Another character gets treated better in the Snyder cut is Mira. The scene she has with Arthur is expanded upon. It's longer. Because I remember in the theatrical cut, I could be like, wait, do they know each other or do they not know each other? Because it kind of seems like they know each other. But in the Snyder cut, it is blatant. They have never met, but Mira knows who he is. But he's never met her before. Which, again, makes the Aquaman movie make more sense. So I like that. Plus, Mira got that badass, like, sucking the blood out of Steppenwolf's body moment. It was very subtle, but I liked it.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it's at the very end, because what she does is when they're fighting, when she and Steppenwolf are fighting, she creates an air pocket.
I was yawning so bad.
And
not because I was bored, because I was fucking exhausted.
Yeah. And then she starts sucking the water out of his body, and then it starts to turn red.
Okay, yeah,
So, yeah.
I noticed that. Okay.
I was like, damn! Technically not accurate, but... Well, okay, it's not that it's not accurate, but it raises a question. Can Mira control water, or can she control liquid? Because if she can control liquid, then there are no more oil spills ever.
And if she wants to rip the blood from your body,
Then she can rip the blood from your body.
She will sanguinate you.
Another example of powers being like, can she do that? I'm not sure if she can do that.
Well, I mean, Superman can shoot little Superman out of his hand, so.
This is not the new 52, damn it. That's all I got, and I'm sure I can think of other things that I liked. Side note, Batman is not as funny in the Snyder Cut, which again...
is okay with me.
It's okay with me, especially since the tone that was set in Batman vs. Superman. Batman is not particularly funny. In fact, he's downright brutal in that one, which I have some issues with.
No, because technically this is supposed to be old man Bruce Wayne.
Right, he's older. So, and it's a known fact that Snyder got a lot of his inspiration for his Batman from Dark Knight Returns, which he's not quite that old in Justice League, but it makes sense because this is by point, and actually Snyder confirms it because the Joker references Jason Todd, which means that this Batman has been through some shit.
Wait a minute, Jason Todd.
Jason Todd was the second Robin who was murdered by Joker.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't, it's common knowledge in the comics, but they actually made an animated movie Under the Red Hood. It's fantastic. I highly recommend you watch it.
I feel like I've heard of it, and
yeah,
I may have watched it.
Fucking good. It's probably my favorite animated Batman movie. In fact, it might be my favorite Batman movie. Period, because it's fucking good.
Under the Hood, Under the Red Hood. Okay. Oh, shoot, shaky day.
They curse in that one.
Oh, it's nice when they say bastard.
Oh, they don't say bastard. Well, I know he says bastard, but
Evan Backstabber, bastard. Just kidding. Sorry, Bruce.
Okay, that's all I got on my list for things I liked.
Things we hate.
So now I'll make one point that I was kind of indifferent about. A lot of people were making a big deal about the Snyder soundtrack. I thought it was... I didn't catch a difference.
Yeah, no.
Except the one thing I didn't like is you lost a lot of the musical cues that had already been established, and I blame Snyder for this one because, like, the themes for Batman and Superman were both established by Zack Snyder in his movies, and they were absent in the Snyder Cut. The only theme that was present was Wonder Woman's, and that was once.
Anytime she comes on screen and is kicking ass, and her fucking theme.
Her theme song is awesome.
I'm just like, yeah.
Well, they all had pretty good themes, but
Plus
they
it's
were
Gal Gadot. I mean,
yeah, but they were absent. So to me, the soundtrack, I think, by virtue of the fact that the character themes were not present largely, to my mind, makes the Snyder Cut worse in the soundtrack department.
Yeah, like I feel like it was just like I enjoyed the movie. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it, but like
I enjoyed it too.
It
but
felt like literally someone just copied and pasted and just did this and that.
For the most part. And actually, somebody I was talking to,
they're like, oh, that's 4
I was
hours,
talking
that's
to
all right.
I was talking to a friend about the Snyder Cut, and I basically made the point. I was told I was being too critical, but I made the point. I was like, look, it's 4 hours long.
Sorry, Green fucking Arrow, dude. Fuck Hawkeye.
Fuck Hawkeye, I know, right?
He asked who would win, Green Arrow or Hawkeye. It's like Green Arrow.
It depends on which version you're talking about. Are you talking Avengers, like MCU Hawkeye? Because apparently that dude can't miss. I don't know. That'd be a good one. I'm calling it. Stephen Amell would beat Jeremy Renner in a fight.
Easily.
I'm calling it.
I'm sorry, but Renner cannot do the salmon ladder. There's no way.
How fucking badass is that
Amazing.
thing?
Like,
And the thing of it is, he does
them.
it. He does it. Every time they show it on screen, he is doing that shit.
Yeah. There's no faking because he learned how to do it. That dude literally learned how to, what's the term? The free running. What's the term? Parkour. He actually learned how to parkour for the show. I mean, actually, I think he did it already.
I think he was doing it already, but yeah.
Yeah.
He's working on It's something I always wanted to try, but honestly now, like, I'm super paranoid after I hurt my knee.
Oh, dude, I used to do it.
You used to parkour?
Ish. I mean, come on, dude. I jumped off bridges and shit when we were kids.
That's a good point. To be fair, you didn't know how shallow it was.
I was able to land like Spider-Man and not hurt myself.
Yes, he was. I've seen it many times. Except for that one time when you hurt yourself. I keyed.
A few times. Oh, I ripped my pants.
Yeah, you did.
That was funny. I landed like Spider-Man and...
So now we get into the bad. And this is where
Spider-Man wears spandex, kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So this is where I'm either going to get...
Meat and potatoes.
This is where I'm either going to get so much hate mail, or hopefully you agree with me after I point some of this stuff out. And you made a comment about this, the aspect ratio. Fucking terrible.
Yep. I was corrected on that, but the thing is, though, I feel like they could have fixed it back to 16:9 instead of 4:3, but the reason it was 4:3, it was meant for IMAX.
Kind of.
No, not kind of. They explained it.
So that's half the story. On a previous movie, Zack Snyder had fallen in love with that aspect ratio when he was shooting IMAX scenes for a different movie. And he decided he wanted this entire movie to be shot in that because a lot of the action is vertical. A lot of characters are flying upwards. A lot of the combat is weapons being swung down. Which... I didn't like it.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Because I felt like we were going backwards.
Yeah,
I was
like, should I go watch this on my old?
Exactly.
TV?
Should I? Well, it wouldn't have done you any good though, because you still would have had the fucking bars.
Flash, Superman, and Quicksilver. Who's winning the race?
Flash.
Flash.
Flash is the only character.
Flash is the only character that can travel faster than the speed of light.
Precisely. Flash. Definitely Flash. Love this engagement. Keep the questions coming. Yeah, but definitely Flash. And Flash is the only character who actually has traveled back in time purely...
Superman is fast, but he's not as fast as the Flash. And honestly, right. I believe they are both faster than Quicksilver. Quicksilver's awesome, don't get me wrong. Because what they did with him in the movie was amazing. The first few things where he's running on the wall and whatnot, and I can save time in a bottle. That was amazing. Tough crowd.
Very. I'll admit it. I'm a very tough crowd.
I liked Quicksilver. Now, do I think he's faster than Flash and all
No.
this other stuff? No.
No.
Very
Well,
cool
and
character.
let's delve into that. Let's unpack that for a little bit. And this is why Flash is faster. So Quicksilver has a mutant gene.
Yep.
So
Flash is powered by the Speed Force.
So theoretically, Quicksilver's speed will top out at what his body can handle.
Yep.
Physically.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he runs out of calories food basically, and energy. So if he runs out of that, obviously, poof. He's done for. He's not going. He's not going to keep going. Barry Allen can continue drawing from the Speed Force.
He needs a lot of calories, but if he
can
needs to
hurt his body, but the Speed Force
but he
will
can
keep
draw
him
on the Speed Force to push through. Superman cannot travel faster than the speed of light because if he does, his matter would break down.
Thing though, in the Christopher Reeves movie, when he traveled backwards and made the Earth go backwards, which obviously would fucking destroy the entire planet.
It's kind of like when Piccolo destroys the moon. It's like, wait, that's going to fuck shit up.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so the Earth is on a tilt axis. You destroy the moon.
You're just gonna... I mean, pretty much.
It's like, come on, people. Like, literally, if all of a sudden the moon was just destroyed and we had no anchor, because it's pretty much an anchor for us.
Well, if nothing else, it affects the tides.
It would affect our tides, but the thing is, our orbit would eventually change too.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be as stable. It wouldn't change immediately, at least theoretically, but it would change.
But anyway, so that was a...
So anyway, my point being, Superman cannot physically travel faster than the speed of light. And technically, he can't even travel at the speed of light.
Is there any instance in any comic book where he has reverse time?
Yes. But he didn't do it by traveling at the speed of light.
No. I believe it was actually some sort of technique.
I think it was the whole making the Earth spin opposite, but that has nothing to do with time travel.
No fucking sense.
That's some weird comic book logic that makes no sense whatsoever.
That's like...
I mean, it would only just kill everything on the planet. Almost instantly. It's like, no. Anyway, Flash, however, can travel faster than the speed of light by utilizing the Speed Force to do so. Because the Speed Force, it's documented. Again, this is some comic book logic that you're drawing on shit that's not real, but in universe it makes sense. The Speed Force creates a barrier around the Flash, which is why he's able to do the things that he can do without destroying his body.
Because at the end of the day, he has super healing, but he's still...
He only has super healing because of his fast metabolism, though. Which, again, is tied to the Speed Force, but...
Flash is a very good character. A very great comic character.
And then Flashpoint Paradox is one of the best, comic stories ever. Where he accidentally travels to an alternate dimension because he goes too fast. Which technically, Flashpoint Paradox. That's where he goes to the universe where Bruce Wayne and Martha Wayne were killed, and Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. Except this dude uses guns, and he don't give a fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
It's
pretty cool, but it's pretty dark. Which technically, that is time travel, if you want to get into it.
Green Lantern versus Thor. Green Lantern
all day long.
Green Lantern would just create something out of nothing and just squash the guy.
Green Lantern can create a force field that the more kinetic energy is thrown into it, the stronger it gets. He's done this before.
Don't get me wrong. I love Thor.
Comic Thor is lame.
Well,
I said it.
Movie
Thor is not lame.
Thor is awesome. Dude, Ragnarok, the Rockman, he stole the show.
I fucking hate that guy.
You didn't like Rockman?
No, I did not like the Rockman.
He was hilarious. I can't even do his voice. He sounded like Robin Williams.
Should have fucking been killed.
No, the Rockman was awesome.
The Rockman was awesome.
There's a guy on here. He's making fun of me. What's his name?
Noob Master 69. I love the fan theory that Noob Master 69 is Deadpool.
Oh,
I need this to be true. I need this to be true.
If they don't do that, it's like, come on, dude.
I need this to be true.
All right, tangent.
Okay, so we talked about the aspect ratio. Didn't like it. I don't think it served the movie in any positive way. I think the negatives way outdid. I think that's one of those things, and this is why I hate directors in general. Is sometimes they take it too far when they're not reined in. It's like, oh, I'm going to make it my magnum opus. I'm going to make it so artistic. It's a fucking comic book movie. Like, stop. You can do that artsy fartsy shit when you're making a movie about that takes place in a fucking tea house for 3.5 goddamn hours and two people just stare at each other.
By the way, Superman versus Hulk. Superman, because
Superman.
the Superman could literally just take Hulk and just fly to a distant planet and just put him there and then just leave.
Oh,
he ain't jumping all the way back to
Earth.
I
even think Superman would waste Hulk because, again, Thanos beat the shit out of Hulk.
He scared him.
Yeah.
Remember that? He's like, no, I ain't
Turned
coming
him
out.
into a little green bitch.
I know, but the thing is, though, it's like everyone's always like, no, Hulk can just get madder and madder and madder. And he gets more, he's just infinite power. And I was like, no.
No, that's not true. Hulk still gets tired. Hulk tired.
I'll tell you who will kill anybody.
Goku.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yes, literally. He will just eviscerate you.
You gone.
Hold on, though. Could he... is he... I believe the answer is yes, by the way, but this is just a fun little experiment. Is Dr. Manhattan technically strong enough to split Kryptonian atoms? But by the same token, Superman can't really beat him because he doesn't... Dr. Manhattan technically isn't physical.
You have to have a physical... Well, the thing is, though, like...
But could Superman just heat... Well, Dr. Manhattan doesn't even exist in linear time.
No, Superman...
So, yeah, no, Dr. Manhattan is it.
I'm pretty sure he knows how all... He
can deconstruct all matter, yeah.
He could easily just...
Yeah,
he could just put a force field around him and just shoot him to a red star.
There you go.
If he knows.
Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, he could take him to a red star.
Yeah.
And then battle over. Yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, because Dr. Manhattan is not a good guy or a bad guy, and if you mess with him, he'll kill you.
That was one thing I really liked about the comic book over the movie is they touch on it in the movie, but Dr. Manhattan is not even a person. He's very much a force of nature.
Yeah. He's not for
And the whole point of Dr. Manhattan's character arc is he has no reason to care. Mm-hmm. Like, he cannot come up with a reason to care about what happens because he exists completely outside of it.
Yeah. He no longer human.
He no longer human.
Hulk can travel in the universe. How?
Not on his own.
Yeah, no. I mean,
unless you're getting into some Planet Hulk shit, but even then, he was transported.
Yeah, he can't walk on stars.
Nope, he get his feet burned.
Jump from star to star.
The other thing I really didn't like about the movie was the colors, or the color desaturation, I should say. For one, it didn't fit the tone with the other movies that Zack Snyder has done. And I'm going to say, I'm one of those guys, I prefer the Whedon cuts color. I'm biased, though. I like bright, vibrant color.
Yeah, I don't care for dark and...
I get what he was trying to do. He just took it too far. And the other thing, and again, this is... Snyder, I think the problem with the Snyder cut is they kind of forgot that it's set in a universe with multiple movies. So they all have to kind of look similar. Not the same, but they have to look similar. Again, the MCU did this really well. Because if you compare any of those movies from a color perspective, they're all pretty similar, and that's because if Iron Man's in this movie, he has to look the same color-wise.
Yeah.
And Captain America and all that, they have to look mostly the same. It can't be so different that...
change it up, people are going to be like, oh.
It can't be so different that it's jarring. And then, like, the problem with the desaturated color in this one is, you know, you almost can't even tell the difference between Superman's costumes. Because even if he was in the original, it would be so damn dark. Like... There'd be some people that wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
No.
And then characters like Mira, who is supposed to have vibrant red hair, you can't see it because everything's too damn dark.
That's not vibrant. He said, if we are going by Marvel only, Deadpool is the only character to kill everyone in the Marvel Universe.
Technically correct.
Deadpool and Wolverine are the greatest team possible. I'm going to say this. I love Deadpool. Just going to say that. But he is the most overrated character ever. He literally only has superhuman healing. And he's technically immortal.
Master of hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah. And he's a smartass. And he's insane,
and
by the way.
an ass that's out of this world.
He is insane, though. Like, they didn't give... he's insane in the movie, but they did not give him the insanity that he actually has.
But Deadpool's also the only one who knows he's in a comic book.
Oh, yeah. He's the...
Hence why
he's the only
insane.
one to break the fourth... Is fourth wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, fourth wall. I love that.
Well, but that's why he's insane, because he knows he's in a fucking comic book. It's fucking brilliant.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's why he's insane, because he knows he's in a comic book. And that's one of the many reasons I love the Deadpool character, because he was a massive joke that was only supposed to last one issue, and people loved it so much that they kept publishing it, because they were literally like, well, fuck it, they're gonna cancel it anyway, let's just go nuts.
Wolverine's completely overrated. Sorry.
Kind of.
I like him, but I mean, I like Hugh Jackman. I think that's why I like Wolverine so much. Like in the X-Men cartoon, like I didn't really care too much for Wolverine. He was kind of like
he didn't really change. I'm partial to Australian Wolverine myself. I'm kidding. So there was a pilot episode for an X-Men animated series that was before the famous one.
Mm-hmm.
And in that one Wolverine is inexplicably Australian.
Oh my ching!
My favorite line, if the kid's here, she'll just get in the way. It's like why is he fucking
have
Australian?
another shrimp on my barbie?
It's like, why the fuck is he Australian?
It's like Kano in the Mortal Kombat movie. Why did he have an Australian accent? Was he from Australia?
So funny story, they retconned the character because of the movie.
I know. And have you seen the new he doesn't have an Australian accent in the new movie.
Yeah, I know, because he's not supposed to be from Australia.
I was like, man, Kano is an assassin from America.
Yeah.
I think.
But I'm trying to remember what it was. It was the director or the actor that just assumed that he should be Australian.
Deadpool was a former Navy SEAL. Well, duh.
Canadian Special Forces.
Yeah.
Hailing from Rangina.
What else we got?
Talked about the color saturation. And this is one of the many pointless either scenes in general or extended scenes. When Aquaman leaves, they sing that fucking Icelandic song.
That was so awkward.
It made no sense. Contributed nothing to the plot. I'm guessing that outside of Iceland, nobody knew what the fuck they were singing. And even in Iceland, they're probably like, "That's not this song."
I was like, why are they? He literally talks to that. Who is he talking to? Batman.
Yeah,
he was talking to Batman. He undresses, get in the ocean, and then they just start singing around Batman. And I was like,
and at no point is Batman like, the fuck?
I know, right? And I was like,
I feel like Batman would be one of those guys to be like, you know what? I've seen some shit, but this is some cult. Like,
this is some cult shit.
Like, Ra's al Ghul's gonna come out of this motherfucker somewhere.
He's gonna be like, I did not teach you this.
Yeah, so that whole thing, and God, that song was a good minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was talking about.
And then the
that's
one
usually when I pick up the phone.
The one girl who grabbed his sweater is like looking at the water, like, and just the way the shot is set up. If I didn't know any better, it'd be like, oh, maybe they're involved, but it's like they can't be because he's gonna get with Mira because Mira ends up becoming queen, and then they have a kid, and then in some versions the kid dies, and yeah, but anyway, that's irrelevant.
It was weird.
Yeah, and pointless. It didn't serve the narrative at all, and it wasn't cute, it wasn't funny. It didn't lighten the mood. It was confusing, and I feel like it was one of those things, kind of like how George Lucas decided to put in a random song in Return of the Jedi when he redid it. It's like, oh, that'd be funny. It's like, I'm just kidding. That song was awesome. In Return of the Jedi, not in Justice League. Anyway, the Wonder Woman scene I liked, however, except for after she beat the shit out of everybody.
Which part?
When they first introduced Wonder Woman in the bank, the terrorist guys. And then they have another really pointless scene where Wonder Woman just lies to a child's face. She's like, can I be like you someday? And she's like, you can be whatever you want to be. It's like, she can't be an Amazon that flies and catches bullets and moves super fast. Like, no. You just lied to a child. That poor girl is going to grow up one day and be like, I want to be like Wonder Woman. And then the first time she goes out to fight crime, she's going to get shot in the head.
Well, she technically can be whatever she wants to be, but...
I feel like you're going to make a poorly timed political statement right now.
You want... Which you can't have, I don't know. I was going somewhere with that.
Well, I think what they might have been doing is setting up for like doing a weird Easter egg for Wonder Girl, but no. Just first of all, Wonder Girl isn't from England, at least not to my knowledge.
By the way, this podcast right now is in the Whedon cut. We're going to the Snyder cut.
No, the Snyder Cut had no red in it.
Oh, okay. Well, here, how about...
There we go. Now we're in the Snyder Cut.
Blue, baba, dee, baba, die. This is actually kind of cool looking.
Yeah, now we're definitely in the Snyder Cut.
Now we're cooking with grease.
See, because like it illustrates my shirt is green, but you cannot tell because there's way too much fucking blue. I'm now a... Well, I can't say I'm a Blue Lantern. The symbols are... There we go.
Green Lantern.
That's better.
This is awesome.
This is fun.
You know what? That's it. Doesn't that work?
It's like, nope, the remote died.
There you go. Whoa!
That just looks like interlacing.
It does. Okay. All right. We're gonna stop messing with the public.
Back to the Whedon cut.
Back to the Whedon cut.
Just wonder. The other thing I didn't like about the Snyder cut is it arguably took away Aquaman's personality because again, I feel like
he wasn't a sarcastic asshole.
Exactly. And I feel like that's how Whedon dealt with the Aquaman problem. Because historically, Aquaman's fucking lame. Like, there's no... And I know it's not necessarily deserved, but they had to... So, the first thing you do is you cast somebody as badass as Jason Momoa.
As Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Family Guy touched on Aquaman perfectly.
Exactly.
Hey, stop that over there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call my fish.
Why don't you come in here and say that?
He's gonna kill me, you idiot.
Yeah, well...
You shouldn't have let him on. I think
you shouldn't have been wearing that. But anyway, so right out of the gate, I was like, okay, this dude looks at least imposing. So even if he doesn't have aquatic powers, like he looks like he'd win in a fight.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is though, he is super strong.
Yeah, exactly. But then you make him likable. And Jason Momoa is a funny dude. And that comes across. But in this one, in the Snyder Cut, he's just broody. Which I get it. Aquaman has the right to be broody, especially in this universe. But they took out one of my favorite moments in the movie when he's sitting on the lasso of truth and he gets all, like, honest.
I don't remember that.
In the Whedon Cut, when they're getting ready to go fight Steppenwolf, and then he's like, honestly, never really had much that I believed in. And then he looks over at Wonder, he's like, and you're gorgeous. And then he realizes he's sitting on the lasso of truth.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Which actually, okay, so even I said it wrong. He didn't sit on it. Diana snuck it around him.
Oh.
Like, he didn't sit on it. But everybody's like, and they took out that stupid scene where he sat on the lasso of truth. Like, he didn't fucking sit on it. Diana tricked him.
Bitch.
But it was because she knew he was bullshitting when he was like, I don't care about nothing. I'm just going to sit in my corner and be all like, meh, I'm just going to drink. But I'm actually really sweet and kind of funny. And I actually do give a shit about things. But I've been hurt so much in the past. Oh, I've been lassoed to truth. And then they took out his, yeehaw, I guess.
I'm going to have to watch the Whedon version again.
They took out one of the most memorable Aquaman things, and shame on all the internet for being like, oh, and they took out that stupid thing. It's like, you all loved that thing because it was one of the most talked about and quoted moments when Justice League came out.
Yeah! I don't remember that. I'm going to have to look that up.
So fuck all you haters.
F you.
Like somebody says, oh, the Snyder Cut's coming out. It's going to be so good. And you just... Like, all of you just decided it was going to be this amazing, life-changing thing when it really wasn't that different.
I think it had been since 2017 since I've seen the Whedon cut, and I just watched the Snyder cut.
I'm weird. I liked Justice League. I did. I liked the theatrical version. Was it perfect? No, but I liked it. It wasn't as good as the MCU and
Come
the
on,
Avengers.
dude. You seriously? Serious? What? Lex Luthor versus Iron Man? I'm assuming you mean Lex Luthor versus Tony Stark. Tony Stark.
Well, technically, Lex Luthor has an Iron Man suit, too.
I know, but I like...
But Kryptonite's not going to do...
Tony Stark better.
I'm still gonna say Lex Luthor's gonna win that fight.
Oh, Lex Luthor is diabolical, so yeah, he would probably win that fight. But
He'll cross the line that Tony won't cross.
I'm sorry. If it's Lex Luthor from Smallville, which you didn't watch, Michael Rosenbaum is Lex Luthor. Or Gene Hackman. You like Gene Hackman, didn't you? Get me my meds! No, I'm just kidding. Oh.
That's a solid reference. Yeah, I'm gonna call Lex Luthor in that fight. If for no other reason than he's gonna cross that line that Tony won't cross. From a moral standpoint. Like, Lex Luthor will shoot him in the face.
Lex Luthor, like I said, he's diabolical. That dude's...
Plus,
Lex
Lex probably got a hold of some Kryptonian metal to make his suit out of. Which is just going to stand up, like, it's going to be impervious to Iron Man.
Actually, you know what? Because Iron Man, I mean, unless he makes a suit out of, like, diamonds or something, you know...
Unless he's got kryptonite in his suit, he's not going to be able to pierce Lex's armor.
That's true. All right, I changed my mind. Lex Luthor. I like Iron Man better though.
Oh yeah, as
a character.
Thanks to Robert Downey Jr. especially.
That's the only reason.
I remember when they were gonna make an Iron Man movie. I'm like, why?
Yeah, but then you watch and you're like, this is why.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's really a movie about Tony Stark.
Can I take a picture? No. Nah, yeah, throw it up.
Actually, my favorite line from that movie, all the best Iron Man moments are from Tony Stark, not Iron Man. And best part of that movie, my favorite line ever, is when he gets back from the Middle East, and he's just like, we're going to do a press conference and get a cheeseburger. Cheeseburger first.
American cheeseburger.
American cheeseburger, yeah.
I like how it was Burger King.
But he's just like, cheeseburger first.
I like how he said it was Burger King, and I was like, Burger King doesn't... Cheeseburgers aren't even that good.
Product placement.
Hardee's, man.
So let's talk about Steppenwolf's armor.
What was up with that?
I don't know. I didn't like it. I heard some, which again, this is where I'm gonna shit on a lot of the internet because they're like, "Oh my god, the armor was so cool." I'm like, that armor was distracting as shit and made no sense.
He took it down when Darkseid was there. Yeah. Remember, he got down and he's like, "Shh."
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know it was retractable. I was like, apparently the armor is part of him.
It's probably
some type of technology.
Like he can control it, yeah.
Right.
Like, to me, it was distracting. It looked like a giant. It looked like a fishing lure, and But here's the thing: everything else in the movie was so damn desaturated, and then you got that shiny ass diamond shit happening, and like I can't look away. And it's fucking moving. I only imagine how expensive that shit was to create.
Yeah,
you could have added two
over processing.
You could have added 2 new characters with the budget you spent on his fucking armor.
And honestly, I'm just gonna say this: Steppenwolf was kind of a dumb character,
especially when he was alone. That's why I liked the inclusion of Darkseid because, like, oh, okay, he's a lackey, who is really like Darkseid didn't even send him to Earth specifically.
No.
The Mother Box is called. He's like, I'm going to conquer this world, and then he finds the anti-life equation. And Darkseid is like, oh.
That was pretty cool, though.
You might just not be a fuck-up.
The anti-life equation, like, they say if he has that, he can control everything.
He can destroy everything.
Is that basically what it is?
Essentially, yeah.
I guess I've never looked it up. I was meaning to look it up. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's.
I was just kind of like, wait a minute, what?
I forgot it existed until they started talking about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
I was thinking of like Anti-Monitor.
Still DC, but
yeah, and awesome.
That's more the Green Lantern territory, but
yes, sir. Superman versus Thanos.
Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
Superman would fuck Thanos up.
I'm sorry, but all he has to do. Yeah, well, the thing is, if he has a Reality Stone, he can mess with him a little bit. But the thing is, all he has to do, if he gets off before he uses the thing, because he has to lift it for some reason. But
right.
If he's able to just fire off a eye laser and just blow up
the gauntlet.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, it's way faster than Thanos.
Well,
Thanos
plus Superman has beaten the shit out of Darkseid before.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Darkseid's tougher than Thanos.
Well, actually, to change your thing, Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet with all the stones or
technically
just
would win.
Thanos. Because if it's just Thanos, dead.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking just Thanos without
Yeah.
power-ups.
If you're talking Thanos with the gauntlet with
Well, because
all the
then,
stones.
you know, same thing with Dr. Manhattan. If Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet, or even if he just has the Space Stone, all he has to do is take Superman to
a red
a
giant.
place with a red star. So that could go either way.
Exactly.
Technically speaking, if Thanos doesn't have Infinity Stones, Superman's gonna whoop his ass.
Yes, don't tear down my shitty wall.
But if Thanos has the Infinity Stones, he's gonna probably be able to take Superman.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We don't know.
It's a maybe.
That's
up to Thanos at that point. That is a good one. That's the one.
Because Thanos might actually try to sway him to work with him because he is such a powerful being.
Yeah, Thanos isn't one to waste talent.
Batman versus Iron Man?
Batman.
Fucking Batman. And the only reason I say that is because Batman is stupid resourceful.
Batman is also a lot physically tougher than Tony, and
but if you say
EMP the suit,
I don't care if you say who's stronger or what, but if you say Tony Stark versus Bruce Wayne, yeah, Bruce Wayne could probably kick Tony Stark's ass physically, but
Tony Stark's the brain that creates all the stuff.
Tony Stark as a character versus Bruce Wayne, Tony Stark.
Yeah, because Bruce Wayne is a little emo. Still think Batman would take Iron Man in a fight.
I don't know. That's tough. It depends on what equipment he's using.
Well, here's the other thing, though. Batman knows how to get inside people's heads, good or bad. So he's going to figure Tony out in a few seconds and be able to latch onto his vanity.
Yeah, see, he says Batman if he has time. That's like, yeah, obviously. Prep time counts in a battle.
Well, and
you have to give that.
And let's not forget. Well, I don't even know about that. Let's not forget. Batman technically beat Superman in a fight twice. Granted, he cheated, but I mean, all's fair, you know.
All right, let's get back.
Yeah. Emo Lois Lane. Did not like that.
I didn't really pay too much attention to her. Like when those scenes came around, I was just kind of like, I was fucking super bored.
Like I think that's it though, because like I just didn't care. And also, did you notice the pregnancy test?
Yeah.
And the fact that they basically said without saying that Lois Lane is pregnant, because at the end of the movie, they're carrying a baby basket into Clark Kent's old house. So, yeah, apparently...
Notice that, too.
Apparently, Soups knocked up Lois Lane, and they didn't even say anything.
And how long was Superman dead? Did it give a timeline?
It couldn't have been that long.
No. And honestly, though, Superman wasn't even really dead.
So that means...
They didn't really go into that, because when he died in other...
Dawn of Justice...
Well, in other avenues, when he died, he didn't really die. It was more of a coma.
Oh, no. He straight up died when in Superman Doomsday. Yeah, he straight up died.
No. Doomsday is the only character, as of right now, that could kill Superman. That has killed Superman.
Technically, yes. But that was Doomsday that killed him, so...
Was Doomsday in the last movie?
He was in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Why can I not remember this stuff? I have a mental block. I must live in Derry.
Yeah, so emo Lois Lane I didn't care for. Cyborg's dad didn't have to die. That whole bit was kind of stupid.
Yeah, that was kind of...
Why did he put himself in the thing? Just close the door.
It made no sense.
It made absolutely no sense. Like, I get that they wanted him to sacrifice, but figure out a better way to do it, because that's just dumb.
Venom or Carnage? Carnage. Because,
technically, symbiotes
Venom...
get stronger when they breed.
Yeah. Well,
so the Carnage...
on top of that, Cletus Cassidy was insane, and that made Carnage that much more strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Carnage.
Carnage would beat Venom in
easily.
A fight.
Yeah, so this new... Carnage versus Venom, or this...
yeah.
Oh.
Well, and we know that, though, because it
awesome.
always took a team up to...
Fucking Woody Harrelson, dude.
I know, right?
Oh,
I saw that in the post-credits sequence. I'm like, that is perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect for
I
Cletus
mean,
Cassidy.
he was a natural born killer, you know.
Yep. Well, if you remember though, in your comic lore, Carnage always required a team up to take Carnage down.
Mm-hmm.
And Venom can't do it alone because the only way you beat Carnage is with sound, and that will fuck up the Venom symbiote too. So, nerd shit is fun.
Indeed.
Yeah, Cyborg's dad didn't need to die. I like what they did where he heated it up so they could track it, but again, dude didn't need to be in the room. Just hit the button. Or he could have even died, but have Steppenwolf kill him. For him to just stand in the room and be like, I'm going to do this so you guys have a chance, I'd have been like, Dad, get the fuck out. You don't need to be in there. Like,
No,
this is
Dad.
not necessary. It's the only way, son. No, it's really not. The button's, like, you're holding it in your hand. You can totally be out here.
And another thing that kind of irked me, and you might be able to nerd out and explain it, but
Done.
when he basically reverses breaking that thing, and I'm like, so you have telekinetic powers too? Because I understand it's technology, but I'm like, you just basically recreated it with your mind. I can understand if you're putting your fingers together and putting stuff back together.
Right.
I mean, do you have magnets or something? Or like, that made no sense to me.
Yeah. Another example.
It was cool. Don't get me wrong.
But another example in the Snyder Cut of something not really making sense.
No.
Like a power that just doesn't make sense.
No, because
it's like, okay, so now you
Cyborg
can...
does not have that type of power, unlike, like I said, unless he has like magnets working in his hand. I mean, but
they kind of allude to the fact that he has similar powers to the Mother Box, but again, it's not so much that he can't do it. They didn't explain that he could do it.
Yeah.
So it just feels random, i.e., Flash being able to protect all of his clothes except for his shoes. Cyborg's dead.
Deadpool, Wolverine.
So I actually meant it.
Say Deadpool.
I mean, technically they just keep
if you're
going.
versing them, or if like, do you like Deadpool or Wolverine more?
Okay, that's going to come down to whose healing power is actually better.
Wolverine's is
not as good.
Is not as good. No. I think Deadpool has the fastest healing regenerative abilities.
Not only that, but I think he has the craziest too, because Deadpool can theoretically regenerate from just a severed head.
A lot of people said that he could regenerate from a cell, and I was like, no, it's just a head.
Well, I think that maybe he could, but all we've seen is the head.
Dude, the little hand scene, so funny. I'm gonna use my little hand tonight.
Bet it feels enormous with this hand.
That's like when you have certain characters and they are played by certain actors. Those certain actors just make that character so much better, and then no one else could play that character.
Yeah, when I heard Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool, I was like, okay, we're good.
Oh yeah,
we're good. It doesn't matter. They can do whatever they want. It's gonna be good.
And the way he does his voice is perfect. Like Ryan Reynolds does kind of have like a higher pitched voice, whiny, but like when he's able to just like he drops it a few octaves, and the way he does it, and it's just like if he gets mad and sounds like he sounds kind of evil.
Yeah, he can do it.
Ryan Reynolds, I like him. He's a cool actor. I can't wait to see it's a game movie, something free guy.
Oh yeah,
that looks awesome.
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be good.
I hope it is, because if anybody can pull it off, it's Ryan Reynolds. But
his last movie, Underground 6, was decent.
I thought that movie was terrible. I was bored out of my fucking mind.
I was bored, but I liked the premise. I don't know.
I still don't understand the premise.
I eat gummies, and movies are so much better.
Movies are.
That's the only way I can sit still, because I have ADHD. Like, if you ever notice throughout these podcasts, I can't fucking sit still. I have to like keep moving. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So I had a note about Iris West.
Oh God, we're getting there.
It wasn't so much that she was included. It was just, again, they didn't explain who like.
Yes.
Because I was watching.
Like, who's this random girl?
I was watching that scene, and I'm like, is that supposed to be Iris? Because that's probably Iris. But again, like, you have to assume. You cannot assume when you're making a movie that's going to be this big. You cannot assume that your audience knows all these little comic book details. Because this girl. Because so like if you know it's Iris West, you're like, aw.
Because he's looking at her with intent. He's just like.
Yeah, and then maybe I'm reading too much into this, but how he takes the hot dog.
Oh, and puts. Oh, damn it! I forgot to mention that. I was gonna mention that, dude. The hot dog in his pocket was
but I
so
saw that.
funny.
I saw that. I'm like, is that a euphemism? because it feels like a euphemism. But again, I figured it was Iris, so I'm like, that feels like a dick joke.
It's hilarious though because he grabs the hot dog before he grabs her. He's like,
See, I found that kind of dumb. I did like how you. I noticed.
I cracked up.
I noticed too though how you said he showed restraint, which I liked because
Yeah.
again, like at the speed he's traveling,
If he mows,
he would rip her apart. If he would.
And the thing is, I was actually talking to my wife about this today. In superhero movies, they don't show that, you know, and they have to. What's that show on Amazon?
The Boys.
The Boys. Remember that the fast guy? He
I
literally
haven't watched it
mows through that guy's girl.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
It's on my list
dude,
because I know it's good. I've been told it's good.
fantastic.
While we're on the subject of Amazon, let me tell you about a very disappointing series, The Man in the High Tower. I thought that was gonna be so good, and I'm watching the first episode. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Have you watched Uploaded?
No, not yet.
It's fantastic.
I know. You know,
I feel like I'm going to say everything's fantastic, and you might be a little more critical. I like it.
I'm really critical though.
And that's good. I'm actually very critical. I'm just
shit. What's
excited
the other?
about
What's the
everything,
other
I guess.
show that started out really good, but then I got bored with it? It had Rami Malek in it. The one about the hackers. Shit. Mr. Robot.
I was going to say Mr. Robot.
First couple episodes are great, and then I
haven't
just
seen
got
it.
bored. I just got bored.
Anytime I see him in anything, I just think of Freddie Mercury. And have you seen the Queen movie?
Oh yeah,
I
I love,
love
fantastic.
it.
Loved
Great
it.
movie.
Although technically I saw Mr. Robot first,
Oh, okay. That's fair.
which is probably why I don't
did
think
not.
like I like when I see him at a computer, I don't think of myself like.
But the way
"Hey,
he
oh."
looks, man. Holy shit. He's spot on.
Well, makeup is a
And on top of that, like, you know, the funny thing is until I saw the movie, I didn't know he was anything other than English or where.
Oh, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I didn't know he was Middle Eastern. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know where.
Shit.
Or, Arab?
Technically Persian.
Persian. Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah, because his family was Zoroastrian.
And it's crazy, dude. I didn't know that because he didn't really look like that. He kind of looked white.
Well, I mean, he lived in London for God knows how long.
But that doesn't make you white.
Oh yeah, but well, I mean, technically it will, because you know it doesn't. You don't get too much sun in jolly old England.
That's true. Pigmentation.
It'll make everyone look like death. England will.
England.
That's right. I said it.
Don't go there.
Fuck England.
Yeah.
America just did it better.
America.
We didn't need a king.
You know, they just gave up. They're just like, fuck those monkeys over there. They were Frieza. We were the Saiyans.
I mean, if you want to get technical with it, they kind of did. They were just kind of like, is this really worth it? Because it's kind of not really worth it.
Because if they would have sent the whole Armada,
if they sent the whole thing, we'd be done.
Just saying. We'd all be speaking with accents right now.
It's an interesting perspective, though. I'd always be curious to sit in a British classroom if they even discuss the revolution. Which I mean, at best it would be a footnote. Be like, oh yeah, and then these colonies. But I mean, like the entire history of the British Empire is colonies revolting, and then either being subdued or being, you know, like, it's not worth it.
He's a history major.
I wish, but like, because here it's obviously a big deal. So we spend quite a bit of time about the revolution. And it's always like, yeah, this is a turning point in history, and it's like, I don't know about that.
So, back to the movie.
Oh, what now? Do we have another versus?
Come on, dude. You're not even trying now. Darkseid versus Thanos.
Darkseid.
Easily.
Oh, Omega beam him in the dick.
Why does he keep
Omega beaming me in the dick? In Josh Brolin's voice.
Yeah, with his nutsack chin.
Darkseid would be like, I'm gonna kick you in the nutsack.
Why'd they give him a nutsack chin?
He's always had one.
I know, but in the movie it was really bad. Yeah. I was like, man, that thing looks like it's 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, Darkseid would just be like, I'm gonna kick you in the ball sack, and Thanos is just gonna be like, which one?
Damn, dog, you're not even trying. Bane versus Venom.
Venom.
Bane versus Venom.
Venom.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like Venom.
No, because all you have to, ironically, is all Venom has to do is disconnect the Venom.
All he has to do is just eat him.
Well, yeah, I mean, all Venom has to do is disconnect the damn hose.
You'd be like a turd rolling in the wind.
Tom
Hardy is awesome as Venom.
That was very good. I was very pleased, and I was worried because you know
what
how
I didn't like though?
No spider insignia.
They were missing it.
Well, I think
because
that's because
technically in that universe,
it's not in the Spider-Man universe.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, it could be.
Theoretically could be, but
I think it's going to end up being the world of symbiotes or Venoms. Yeah. What would they call it?
What did they call that? I can't remember. It
had a name.
I can't remember.
Anyway,
just a couple things. Martian Manhunter.
Oh,
why?
What?
Hated it. Too many characters. It didn't make any sense. I mean, it made sense, but
the thing is, they introduced him in the end because he was talking. Who he was? What was he? Lois Lane.
He talked to Lois Lane.
He talked to Lois Lane, and he was basically bringing her out of her thing.
Okay, but I'm about to shatter some glass for you.
Well, all right, Walter White.
If the Martian Manhunter is so invested in protecting the Earth, where the fuck was he?
Because he's powerful.
Exactly. They could have used his ass. They could have used his help. Where the fuck was he? It's not like he didn't know what was going on. He knew more of what was going on than any of the other characters. Why the fuck wasn't he there? It didn't make any sense.
You know what's hilarious about the Martian Manhunter, though? It's like, obviously, Kryptonians get their powers from the sun, yellow sun, or blue sun. Whichever one you're at.
Ooh.
Blue sun. Yeah, blue sun. Anyway, so Martian Manhunter, though, if he blows his load, we'll say it that way, he has to literally travel all the way to frickin' Mars and be within the atmosphere. You know, that's how he recharges?
Yep.
You know, so it's like, okay. So if he blows his load, he's got to travel, how many miles is it? A lot.
Too goddamn many. When we're at our closest point, I think it's a 5-month trip. That's best case scenario.
Yeah. Elon Musk is talking about something we're going to be able to do it in 90 days.
Bullshit.
We'll see, man.
We'll see, but
it's Elon, dog.
Fucking if anybody can, dude's not human. He's a fucking robot. He's Martian Manhunter.
Him and Alex Jones, man.
So I didn't like the problem with this movie. I think, as a whole, is it's trying to do 3 things at once. It's trying to be an ensemble movie, which I think it does fairly well. It's also trying to be a setup movie for an even bigger movie. But it's trying to do this. It's not doing it with an end credit, and it's not doing it with like a warning at the end. It's doing it throughout the entire movie.
Once again, they made the mistake of rushing things.
Mm-hmm. But they're spending so much time setting up like the future Superman thing that it's taking away from Justice League.
Yeah, it's like, and that's, honestly, when the first movie came out, the one thing that irritated me the most was the movie's called Justice League, but Superman's the greatest hero. And, and don't get me wrong, man, Superman is the strongest, and I know they needed him, but the thing is, it's like, you guys couldn't do shit without him, because if it wasn't for Superman, y'all be dead.
Yeah.
Well, besides Flash, because he saved the fucking world.
Yep, and Flash saves the world an alarming amount of times.
Yeah, and Flash is the greatest superhero ever. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, there's an argument that could be made. I think, let's be real, like in terms of like cultural impact, Superman's the greatest hero.
That was the best thing that was added to the movie.
What?
Was Flash saving the
Earth.
Loved
it. Loved that ending.
Why couldn't they given him that in the Whedon? I'm like, what? Come on, dude. I don't know if they filmed.
Well,
that.
I think Whedon
a reshoot.
Well, there's 2 reasons. One, I think the Whedon cut did too good of a job at making Flash look like a rookie. Which again, I understand, and not that was a bad thing, because then it gives Flash room to grow into that kind of power. But they had it was tied into earlier when he was talking about how like when I purchase speed of light, weird thing happens to time. They'd already kind of hinted at it, and then at the end he's like, oh, okay, I gotta. And I love the moment where he gets shot and he's just like, oh shit, like I can't do it, I gotta
heal.
But then he's like, I gotta do it,
and he just does it.
But
did you see it immediately heal though?
Yeah, because he was going backwards in time.
Oh man.
Which theoretically,
don't pay attention as well.
Theoretically, Flash should not have, like, his body shouldn't have going back in time.
No, because you said, he's protected by the Speed Force.
Yeah,
so technically he's the same.
Another example of a power not behaving the way it's established in the universe.
But also,
this has happened a few times.
If he goes back in time, if you really think about this too, if he goes back in time, I understand his body is protected, but the thing is, that's his current body. So technically, if he's going back in time, he's creating what we call Flashpoint.
That's the point, yeah.
So
the point is he's not going so far back, because in Flashpoint Paradox, what happens? Flash, as a character, is trying to figure out how to time travel so he can go back in time and save his mother.
right.
But what's spoiler
Stop
alert?
his dad from being in jail for fucking the rest of his life.
Spoiler alert. What ends up happening is he realizes that his mom has to die so that the future doesn't get fucked up, because it's all tied in there. So, guess who killed Flash's mom? The Flash. That's the point of Flashpoint Paradox.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's they made an animated movie about it.
Oh, that's what I'm assuming.
It's pretty good.
I assumed it.
And they touch on it. They touch on it in the Flash TV series. Now, in that one, they soften the blow a bit because he just has to let his mom die.
Yeah.
But in Flashpoint Paradox, he actually has to kill her. Because he realizes, fuck, if my mom doesn't die,
all this changes.
Yeah, it all changes. He doesn't and he ends up dying. Barry Allen dies.
Technically, if he creates a new timeline too, as well, by doing that, and there was a Flash. How does this work? Remnant. He would be a remnant, and he would no longer serve a purpose, and he would either disappear or keep running. CW Flash did this, and I don't know if this had anything to do, because when you're messing with time, because basically if you erase a timeline and you're from another timeline and that timeline no longer exists, technically you don't exist either, and they're a remnant, and so they have to be
spit out somewhere.
They're basically they're erased. But the thing is, since the Flash is so fast, he can escape this for so long. But there are these things after him. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah. And the whole point of that, it kind of depends on whether or not you believe in multiverse theory or linear time. Because linear time makes it easy. You can only travel. But multiverse theory it gives you a way out, though, because it's like, oh, you're not
but this
really...
is DC. Nothing's easy. It makes sense.
Well, DC ascribes to multiverse theory, because especially with the 52 to be exact. 52 universes to be exact. And speaking of which, the best DC stories of all time take place on Earth 16, which that's where Young Justice and the DC animated universe takes place.
Earth Prime, bitch.
There's nothing on Earth Prime.
I know. Well, actually, I didn't know that. What?
Oh, you got to watch Justice League Crisis on Two Earths.
So this is completely sideways, or not sideways, but a sidetrack. But have you watched Lucifer?
Mm-mm. I can't.
They tied him into the DC world, dude.
Oh, probably through John Constantine, right?
Yeah, kind of, I think. But the thing is, Lucifer was, I think he was tied into it by, I don't know, can't remember. Anyway.
I don't think I can watch Lucifer because somebody explained
it
to me.
Yes, you can.
No, somebody explained it to me, and it's like, okay, but this doesn't, it doesn't.
He's literally just the devil.
Yeah, I know, but whoever wrote that show apparently has no idea how fucking Christianity works.
It has nothing to do with Christianity.
Except that it's Lucifer, who is a fixture in Christian mythos.
Actually, he's just a. I mean, yeah, he's an angel, but the thing is, I mean, if you think about Spawn, I mean, Spawn killed the devil and God.
But Spawn is not in the Bible.
No. But the
devil is.
Do they call him Lucifer in the Bible?
Kind of. It's a thing. It depends on your translation.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't sure if they.
Well, okay, but here's what you have to understand, though. The concept of Lucifer, as we think about him in Christian lore today, comes more from Milton, Paradise Lost, than the physical Old Testament. The concept of Lucifer as the fallen angel who becomes Satan, that's straight out of Paradise Lost. It's kind of casually mentioned in the Bible, depending on your translation. Mm-hmm. But as far as outright stating it, that's Paradise Lost. That's Milton.
I am.
What?
Nothing.
But yeah, well, okay. So going back to that, did you know the movie The Nun that came out a while ago?
Scary movie.
Yeah, scary movie.
Yeah.
Ruined it for me because whoever made that movie clearly doesn't understand how Catholicism works, like at all.
They just want to make scary stuff.
Well, I know, but it's not scary because it doesn't like.
Are you still watching, Jason? He said Storm versus Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Sorry, Halle Berry wasn't a very good Storm, in my opinion.
She's even worse Catwoman.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Forgot about that. Anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah, back to the movie because now we're off. But, okay, so the Lucifer, one more thing. So
Okay.
Lucifer would be, to me, the show Lucifer, how I perceive it, would be equivalent to making, like, let's say making Zeus, like, a crime fighter.
As a form of media entertainment, just watch it. I'm telling you,
I'll
do
watch- I'm
yourself
telling
a
you.
favor.
I'm
You're going
telling
to
you,
love it
it's just
because
gonna-
I'm telling you what, like, erase everything that you know and just enjoy the show.
That's the problem,
It's
though. I
so
can't.
They try.
Yeah. Didn't like the Batman gauntlets that absorb the energy. That's a fucking cop out.
That kind of, I mean, he got hit by Superman's fucking.
But he had
Superman?
the gauntlets that absorb
I don't fucking
energy.
care. That's Kryptonian fucking energy. I mean,
That's the
unless
energy
you
of a
made it.
sun.
Yeah. So
No.
nothing.
The residual heat alone would have killed him.
When I first saw that, I was like, no.
Well, and not only that, it disobeys the laws of physics. Because energy cannot be created. And I love how they say, oh, it's dispersed. Where?
Where'd it go?
Where did it go?
It's like in that tiny little shield.
Well,
the power of
theoretically-
a fucking sun.
Well, theoretically, it's dissipated around him. But again, we're talking about the heat from a fucking sun. It's still going to fry his ass. Like, a bullet? Sure. That can be dispersed over a large enough surface area. But here's another thing. It also wasn't a pellet of heat vision. It's a constant stream that will saw a car in half.
The world.
Yeah,
He could literally.
if he wanted to, yeah. It cut off Steppenwolf's little antenna horn thing.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Ah, dude, man, though, when, spoiler alert, Wonder Woman, she cut his head off.
I love that ending a lot
That was
more.
so awesome because the thing is, he killed her mom.
No, Hippolyta's still alive.
Who did she kill? I thought he killed somebody.
Oh, he killed
that was
many
close to
people,
her.
but
Oh, yeah, but.
oh, I think so. I just don't remember.
Yeah, shit, so whatever.
Yeah. I also like the way they killed Steppenwolf because it was a 3-prong combo. Aquaman stabbed him, Superman punched him, then Wonder Woman just fucking decapitated his ass.
And through the freaking doorway. That was amazing.
That
He
was
just
like the
goes flying in there.
superhero equivalent of.
And when Darkseid just puts his fin, he.
Well, but now, I mean, they got to realize they done. Oh, they didn't know about the anti-life equation.
No, they did. Darkseid?
No, Darkseid did. I'm talking about the Justice League.
Oh no, they don't.
I was
know
gonna say,
shit.
well, they fucked up.
Actually, someone did.
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter.
He knows about the coming storm.
Yeah, but that asshole
They
fucking
could-
once again sat back and didn't tell anybody.
Well, but
anything.
here's the thing: they could have fixed it,
Asshole.
and really easy. Just have Martian Manhunter arrive. The post-credit scene, instead of having him talk to Batman and having him be in the movie, Martian Manhunter. There's two ways they could do it. They could do how New Frontier did it, and Martian Manhunter is being held in a government facility, and then he gets the telepathic message, and he's like, I gotta bust out of here, which totally sets up for the next movie that they're never gonna make. Or you have Martian Manhunter arrive on Earth because he's already been tangling with Darkseid's army elsewhere, and he understands that something's going on and he's got to get to Earth. You have him arrive on Earth or reach out to the League only at like the end credits in the movie. And then you can set up for that weird apocalyptic thing, which...
Apocalypse now.
Yeah, so that's the Snyder Cut. Both very flawed movies, but in totally different ways.
Yeah, I think.
I like my Aquaman and Flash funny.
Yeah.
And I like my Batman broody, but not killing and using guns broody.
Yeah, no Thomas.
Because he
Wayne.
shoots motherfuckers in Batman vs. Superman. And I'm like, nope, I'm out.
I don't remember that.
Yep, he shoots motherfuckers.
I've been thinking about rewatching it all, but I was like, dude, I really like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Loved Ben Affleck as Batman.
All around, it was awesome.
Well, the point I was going to make is he's the only live-action Batman that I feel like plays a good Bruce Wayne and Batman. Because Michael Keaton,
physically, he is more fitting than the other guys because most of them were small and like
right.
Well,
Well, and that's the other thing. Affleck caught a lot of flack, but you got to understand, Affleck was jacked for that role. He was not fat. The problem was they put him in clothes that were too fucking small, and he looked fat. Now, was he ripped? I don't know because they didn't show him, but he was
more really just muscular.
Yeah, like he clearly bulked for the role.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I feel like is much more realistic because here's the thing. If Bruce Wayne is going for performance, you wouldn't want to be ripped necessarily. You would want to be jacked. You would want to be bulked.
For strength.
If he's going for strength, yes. That's why look at every strong man on the planet. Can you see their six-pack? No. Is it there? Fuck yeah.
Like Brian Shaw, and you know who he is?
Yep.
He's a monster. I think he's the world's
strongest man.
Right,
I know he competed for sure. I think he might have won a few times.
Yeah.
Well, they hold it every year, don't they, or every 4 years or something?
Watch him on YouTube when he has his cheat days and it make it throw up.
Yeah.
He eats like 25,000 calories like a Taco Bell.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I mean that just goes right through him because all the muscle mass he has, 2,500 calories.
Not 25,000.
2,500.
I think he normally eats like 10,000 a day.
Jesus Christ.
And you got to think a surplus of calories to gain 1 pound is only 3,500. So that's like.
Yep.
That's like, I mean, obviously.
I mean, but like 2,500 calories to a guy like that is nothing.
Oh no.
Like that's maintenance. That's less than maintenance.
His workouts can burn it off.
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, again, he doesn't need to burn calories. He needs to conserve them. Because he's got to feed all that muscle tissue, so he's got to eat an obscene amount of food.
Ugh.
Like
he's toilet breaks.
Like, he's one of those guys that gets sick of eating. I'm sure.
Oh, I guarantee.
He's like, I've got to eat chicken breast for the 8th time today.
Some people think that it's great to be a bodybuilder, and
it's fucking terrible. I imagine
it's horrible, and ugh.
Well, can you imagine when they stop training though? Like their body just goes to shit. Like,
look at Arnold.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he kind of stayed up, but
he kept training, but he stopped bodybuilding.
He did it the right way.
Yeah,
like
he
these other guys,
siphoned
they
off.
probably just stop.
Oh, I don't think you could stop. I think the negative health benefits would just be
and now
outrageous.
He's
I am the governor, or I was the governor.
I am the governor of California. Oh, well,
stop whining.
Stop whining. So what do we have? What else do we have? Are we
Who is your daddy?
Finito?
And what does he do?
That's the greatest line ever. You know, I used to use soundboards to prank people, and that was the first one. Be like, well, who's your daddy?
And what does he do? I'm sorry.
Stop whining.
If you haven't seen Kindergarten Cop, what are you doing with your life?
I hope you left enough room in your stomach because I'm going to ram my fist into it and break your goddamn spine. Click. I did Jack Black a lot too, soundboard.
Oh yeah.
I remember when soundboards were popular.
Yep.
Not anymore. You kids.
I'm gonna ask you some questions. And I want you to answer them immediately.
And that's when you go straight into who is your daddy
and what does he do? Oh, good old Arnold. Get in the chopper.
So is this our
This is a good stopping point. I think we're done. So yeah, Snyder Cut. Love it, hate it.
That was it. Love it, hate
Disagree with it.
He changed my mind on a lot of stuff.
I feel like that was going to happen because I've talked to a few people about it, and they were like, oh, it's so great. I'm like, well, what about this? Oh. Well, yeah, I guess, you know.
He definitely gave me buyer's remorse. I'm glad I didn't pay for it in the theater.
Oh, I would have.
For 4 hours, I wouldn't have fucking wanted to sit there.
You know what? Honestly, if I'd seen it in the theater, I might have enjoyed it more.
You know what?
Not going to lie.
Put the 1991 It movie in the theater. I'll go watch it.
With oh my god, I always forget that dude's name. Tim Curry. I fucking love Tim Curry, but I always forget his name.
Yeah, I love the 91 one, but the newer one was amazing. I like
the first one was amazing. Part 2 was a piece of shit.
What? I loved it.
It had a tone problem. The first one was legitimately scary.
Well, the thing was,
but the part 2 was silly.
Bill Hader said he has a problem with being scared. There was an interview I was watching. He was talking about like. What's his guy? Muschietti, the guy who directed it. Machete.
Who did direct it?
Muschietti.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, so he's talking. He's like, Bill, your face, looks scared. And he's just like, that's just my face. He's like, there's a giant monster coming to kill us. And,
yeah, so that's, I would say it's miscasting, but he was the perfect adult version of that character.
Bill Hader was perfect.
Speaking of which, I showed you that SNL skit, the Jonah Hill one.
Amazing.
This is legitimately the funniest thing I've ever seen on SNL. I'm so happy I got shown that. Like, literally, I'll be having a bad day, and I'll just turn that thing on. I'm just like, wrong ago! Japanese Legend of Zelda.
That was perfect, man. But I tell you what, in the whole world of cancel culture, hopefully they don't try to go after him for making a fake Japanese accent.
But that's the beautiful part, is because it's the same thing that Robert Downey Jr. was doing in Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah.
Like he's not saying blackface is okay. He's saying blackface is obnoxious and stupid, and he's
not okay.
Well, because it's not okay, but they're making fun of Hollywood because Hollywood thinks it's okay.
It is okay.
Well, no, it's kind of like not
okay.
It's kind of like a parody is okay, but a parody of a parody is frowned upon.
Right.
It's like if you remade Spaceballs and tried to make it funnier.
Yeah. I don't know
it's like why? Why would you can't do that? You can't make Spaceballs funnier.
No. It's classic.
Yeah, you just can't. Don't fuck with it. Just
right,
leave it alone.
This concludes whatever this is.
Our review. If you would like to see more movie reviews,
yes, we will.
Let us know.
We will try to stay on topic.
And everyone, yeah, I'm pointing quasi the right way. Follow this gentleman's example and engage in the chat. It makes it fun.
Yes, because we like to talk to you.
We love to talk to you. And if you disagree, let us know.
Fast, just
because we got it. You can't see it, but we've got the super chat up right there.
Yeah, except we can see it up there. I got to read on my phone.
Yeah, I know. I do that with down the middle too. It's easier to see it if I run it on my phone.
I am probably going to get a big TV above that somehow. I don't know how I'm going to be able to hang it.
Yeah, because even I got my new contacts and I still can't read that shit. It's too far away.
It's too far.
It's too far.
Too far, man.
Oh, speaking of which, this Sunday, Ben and I are doing another episode of Down the Middle podcast. Wrestling. We are going to be discussing, basically, like, categorizing wrestlers, being like, oh, is this a WWE guy? Is this an AEW guy? Or can this guy or girl go anywhere and be fantastic? It's going to be a fun little game. So the super chat would be awesome because there's no format. We're just going to name random people and talk about it.
Link to his channel's in the description.
Yep.
All right, people. Love you long time.